all-inclusive nature of the schedule, of the pay, of the fact that we will listen. This is Ellis Island for a professional wrestler. This is freedom.
AEW has been on our television screens for now over a year, and in that time we've learned a lot about the freedoms that a lot of their talent have in comparison to the freedom, or lack thereof, they would have if they were employed in WWE. Jon Moxley put it best during an interview with Chris Van Vliet. He stated, "Everybody can just be whomever they want to be, do whatever they want to do, whatever different style or presentation or whatever it is with Darby Allin or Orange Cassidy or Lucha Brothers or me or whoever. There's not like a, oh well, they like this. You don't have to go into the office and pitch, can I do this thing I want to do? You can pretty much just do whatever you want. It's not like we're running around doing whatever we want, but kind of everybody is feeling totally free. I was describing it earlier. It's almost like Dynamite is almost like one giant jam band session.
Whatever happens, we've got us.
But what things are they? Well, join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 things wrestlers can't do in WWE but can do in AEW. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
Anybody who stands in AEW's way, we have a mission.
Number 1. Cursing.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Ever since WWE transitioned into a PG product in the summer of 2008, cursing on television has been outright banned. Although there have been a few exceptions to this on WWE programming, they have always appeared in the promo script and have never been used without Vince McMahon's outright permission. AEW, however, is a TV-14 presentation which allows them to push the envelope of not just what they can do, but also what they can say.
That mother of yours whose basement you live in, she swallows, so hate to break it to you.
This extends to the use of cursing on television, as curse words have been used frequently by AEW talent live on air.
Spoon, you stupid.
Dave Meltzer reported in 2019 that the inclusion of cursing into the AEW product was encouraged by the TNT network, who were happy to present an alternative product to the WWE. Number 2. Banned terminology. It's a well-known fact that WWE micromanages all areas of their production. This extends to what talent can and can't say, but it also extends to what the announcers can say in their role too.
Okay, I've got it, sir. I just didn't know if you want me to hit it every time, but I'll do that from now on. Okay, you got it. Thank you. Yep, I will.
As WWE sees themselves as more of a sports entertainment company rather than a wrestling company, Vince McMahon a few years ago introduced a list of words that announcers aren't allowed to say when calling matches. These words include the likes of belt, pro wrestling, fans, and title match. Now, on the other hand, AEW announcers don't have any limitations on what they can or can't say. As long as they're putting over the talent in the ring, there's no issue.
Cage would never tap. He didn't tap. He's not wired to tap.
AEW's announcer Jim Ross commented on the freedom of being an announcer in AEW and working for Tony Khan during his Grillin' JR podcast. JR stated, "I'm enjoying the hell out of my job right now. It's the best job I've had. Best boss I've ever had in Tony Khan." Number 3. Merchandise.
Telling you that the countdown to Black Friday is on, Daddy.
One of the biggest money makers for WWE is their merchandise. Since the 1980s, it's been a continuous source of income for them, and it sometimes reflects who they're going to push at a certain time. Now with that, the talent in question only gets a percentage of the sale of the merchandise that features on WWE Shop. Additionally, if they want to produce their own merchandise on an independent store such as Pro Wrestling Tees, this would be shut down almost immediately, and they would probably face repercussions. AEW wrestlers, however, have their merchandise featured on AEW's online merchandise shop, but they also have the power to release their own merchandise onto the independent merchandise stores. This also extends to releasing merchandise in relation to special charity events, which seems to be encouraged as well as completely supported by AEW management. Number 4. Direct contact with the boss. One of the complaints that most ex-WWE talent have about Vince McMahon is that he's virtually unreachable at tapings. Now, it has been said that Vince does have an open door policy which wrestlers can talk with him at any time, but notably, talents have told stories about them lingering outside his office for hours just to pitch a single idea, and that idea is ultimately rejected. Only top talents seemingly are able to text and call Vince at a moment's notice to vent their frustrations or pitch a storyline idea.
Well, Stephanie's not my boss. I don't give a what Stephanie wants. You can tell her that. And I called Vince and I cut a promo on the answering machine.
However, wrestlers in AEW seemingly have the power to text their bosses and pitch ideas to him directly. FTR recently spoke with Inside the Ropes in relation to this difference, saying, "We get texts from guys in charge there," or Tony Khan himself saying, "What are you guys thinking for this week?" Because they want the input, because they know the talent knows better than anybody else. It's very busy on the television days, but it's easier to get in contact with Tony than it is with Vince. With Vince, they have 30 writers that don't belong in WWE, they get paid a ton of money and get first-class seats while we're sitting coach. They're afraid to talk to Vince, they're afraid to see him face to face. They don't even want to be known that they work there so they can keep collecting a paycheck. It's such a broken system there. Number 5. Moveset. This is obviously to prevent injury, or sometimes it's just because Vince McMahon perceives the move in question as unsafe. For instance, he previously banned Seth Rollins' curb stomp and AJ Styles' clash in WWE, despite them never hurting anyone on the roster. However, in AEW, the wrestlers' movesets are completely up to them, and there are no moves that are banned in any capacity.
He's got the underhook. Paradise. Oh, God almighty. He broke his neck.
Speaking to Fightful, FTR revealed more information about the freedom wrestlers have in relation to their movesets, saying, "We never came in saying we have to do a pile driver just to say screw you to the WWE. That's not the case at all, because they don't give a damn if we do a pile driver or not. We just wanted to do it to add another move to our arsenal and pay homage to Anna and Tully. We also wanted to show that we could get over a move that is not anything crazy or spectacular." Number 6. MMA. Now, WWE likes to have every bit of control over their talent, and this extends to them exploring other pro wrestling sports such as MMA. It's well documented that Vince McMahon won't let Bobby Lashley compete in MMA whilst he's under contract with WWE, and famously, he wouldn't let CM Punk make an appearance in UFC even though he wasn't even fighting. The only exception to this in relation to WWE has been Brock Lesnar, who WWE allowed to fight in UFC, but they initially received a lot of pushback from Vince himself. More recently, Xia Li was pulled from a kickboxing event just days before it was supposed to take place, as the WWE wouldn't allow her to go. There were reports at the time that this frustrated her, thus she demanded answers from NXT boss Triple H. AEW, on the other hand, are completely different, as outside ventures such as MMA are encouraged and supported.
Hagar is the most feared MMA fighter on the planet today, and guess what? He's undefeated, and that's a shoot.
This has been seen with Jake Hager, who's been fighting for Bellator MMA. Hager would even wear the AEW logo on his trunks during his recent fight in October, so it appears that AEW talent going into other pro sports is something that is internally supported.
And he is well supported by the inner circle in the house tonight.
Number 7. Blood/blading. Following WWE transitioning into a PG product in 2008, blood has outright been banned from WWE television. This means that blading hasn't been used on Raw, SmackDown or any pay-per-view for over 12 years. In AEW, however, blood and blading is allowed in matches.
From ringside, this just in, Matt Hardy has been busted open at the hands of Sammy Guevara.
Matches such as Cody vs Dustin Rhodes and Cody vs MJF have all featured blading and have added something that's certainly been missing from wrestling.
It's always interesting to see how an athlete responds to tasting their own blood.
Although it's seemingly well liked by fans, TNT and the wrestlers themselves, sometimes it can go a little too far. As following the match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega at Full Gear, AEW will find a total of $10,000 by the Maryland Athletic Commission for the amount of blood seen on the pay-per-view.
Smartest decision AEW made was not sex this damn thing. Yeah, man, you're right, ma'am. I am too.
Number 8. Twitch. One of the biggest WWE stories of 2020 is in relation to Twitch, as following it being revealed publicly of how much money some WWE superstars were making on the platform, they decided to put an end to this. So in October 2020, they decided to give talent 30 days to stop streaming on Twitch. This move didn't go down too well with fans or the wrestlers themselves, as the streamers created a second income for the wrestlers and fans felt like it brought them closer to the wrestlers themselves.
This is greed at its finest. I understand protecting brands, but when talent, the talent all have a choice there where they don't have to. If everyone just said we're not doing this, they wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
Once the 30-day warning was over, WWE talent such as Paige and AJ Styles were forced to stop streaming. This hit most of them hard, with the majority of them releasing statements criticizing WWE for the move. It certainly hit Paige the hardest, however, who broke down during her final stream.
I always worked so hard in WWE that I can't wrestle anymore. My neck is fucked. And I had to find something that even filled a little bit of that. And Twitch was doing such a wonderful thing for me.
AEW talent, on the other hand, do not have this limitation in any capacity. AEW talent such as Miro and Penelope Ford all use the platform with no pushback from AEW management. Owner Tony Khan was forced to release a statement following questions about what AEW are going to do following WWE's major move. It simply said, "I don't want people to be concerned that I'm going to stop them from trying to monetize their Twitch or even appearance money and things of that nature. I think there are grey areas. I think, all of these are different mediums. All of these platforms are different, and I probably have different answers on different platforms." Number 9. The ability to work independent shows. WWE has an outright ban on talent working any other wrestling show outside of WWE. In AEW, however, it's a little more complex.
Still the AAA Mega Champion, Kenny.
Talent can request to work certain shows, and if it's in the best interest of the company and the talent, they're allowed to do so. Cody revealed in an interview that one of the benefits of working for AEW, if you're a competitor, you're really only working 1 day a week. The really die-hard committed kind of golden circle of our company is always working, and that includes wrestlers, not just management. But it's new to wrestling that Tony's offered this schedule. Some people are free to do independent shows on the weekends where they can keep getting their reps in. Some other people don't need the reps, like my brother, he's had 20 years of reps. He's TV ready always, as kind of proven by this last week in there with the Young Bucks and Santana and Ortiz. I think that's the way it should be. And number 10, creative freedom.
Mr. Daniels, I assure you, you are not the first out-of-touch old man to not believe in me.
One of the things that has surfaced since ex-WWE talent have appeared on AEW television is that there appears to be a lot more scope for creative freedom for AEW talent to seemingly have free reign in relation to their character and their direction.
Yeah.
I've had this much direction from anybody.
Wow.
Whoa. That's awesome.
God, that is so cool.
Direction as far as you have to do this.
This is a stark contrast to the micromanagement style of WWE, who control everything a wrestler does, from their promo and moveset to their entrance theme and social media presentation. Cody recently revealed in an interview why AEW allows their talent to have so much creative freedom. He stated, "TV time isn't cheap as far as the economics of wrestling television time and in terms of how large a responsibility that is. So with that in mind, if you're put in that spot, if you're the golden segment, the opening segment of Dynamite, or if you're anywhere on Dynamite, we trust that your skill set is there. We trust that when the red light goes on, you're going to glow up and not going to shrink down. That trust is what begets creative freedom."
And I once was beaten down, but now I stand before you as the exalted one.
But there you have it, guys. 10 things wrestlers can't do in WWE but can do in AEW. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.